enormous amount of mucus in my throat right now.
Ew.
Chat, you want to hear me hawk a loogie?
No,
Thoughts?
no, 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 no. No.
Shout out hawk to a girl.
What?
You know, besides the fraudulent pump and dump scam.
What?
No. Can I get some crypto? Thoughts?
What?
Can I get some hawk to a girl?
What are we talking about? What scam?
Can I get some of the money from hawk to a coin?
Yeah.
I need that.
Oh, was it about her
didn't know-
coin? I know about her coin, but I didn't
Yeah, the
think
hawk
anything
to a
happened.
coin.
Yeah, it was a pump and dump scam.
Oh, shit.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Well,
That's all that crypto is.
The economic term is called a rug pull, actually. Fucking tips my Reddit fedora.
That's so real.
Fucking keep talking like that, I'll rip your rug off.
Oh, damn. That's kind of
That's
hot.
right. I'm gonna manhandle your pubes.
Damn!
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Let me tell you. Pubes coming off.
Love that. That has to be a
this
form
is-
of medieval torture.
This is why we're supposed to do 18 plus, by the way. I was right, babe. Because we before the 10-minute mark, we got freaky. It always happens.
We always start out with something freaky, but it's okay. It's Umifrico. So
It really is.
last time
So we're,
we
like,
finished
at the
all.
end.
Last time we finished all of episode 3. So now we only have episode 4 left, and then the 2 other bonus content.
Yeah. They fucking Chris Angel mind freaked
Okay.
Battler and
By the way, that means we got to decide
got
soon.
his ass.
Because what do you think, Shane? You wanna run all the way through UMINEKO? And just go right into part 5 through 8?
I mean, we've already gotten this far.
that's
Sure.
that's what I'm saying.
All right,
Also, the story
confirmed
is very
commitment.
obviously fictional, is what it said.
Yeah, if you think this is real, you're just
You're dumb.
dear God.
The fuiste. Oh my freaks.
I always forget that it does the Majora's Mask like fade in on every part.
Yeah,
Look at
credits. I think. Oh!
No.
They just crashed the
What
plane.
is going on?
Oh, never mind.
Kenzo
I think he was
being
telling a
played
story.
by Al Pacino
Oh, no.
in the movie. Hold on, wait. Before we start, Annie, we gotta cast the Hollywood schlock version.
Mm. We'll start the next stream with that. We'll get it ready.
Fire.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because
Fire.
I've got some takes. I've got some takes for sure.
Oh god.
The Hollywood schlock version of UMINEKO, who's who.
Yeah, I'm so happy Goat is alive again.
Oh my gosh, Battler has to be Tom Holland.
Ava is played by Scarlett
Oh wait, no,
Johansson.
George is Tom Holland.
Yeah, George definitely Tom Holland for sure.
That's fire.
Alright.
All right, I'm going this time.
Yeah.
You all right, Battler Coon? We're already on the ground, and you can't fall any farther than that.
Bitch.
Somebody splits their head open and dies,
Yeah.
and then she cheers.
Yay.
All right.
Oh.
I don't know who this is. Is this Battler? No, I think the next text box said Battler, so I think it's narrator.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I keep forgetting when I do the Scottish one and when I do the...
When it's outside the game board.
Oh, I think there's another good time to say as we're getting close to the end. That issue with the way this game's text is displayed is unironically going to keep it from
Yeah.
ever being a 10 out of 10. You can't change my opinion.
Yeah,
9
no, 'cause
at best, because that is really annoying.
Yeah.
It is very annoying, and I can imagine how that would make you messed up or confuse stuff if you're just reading this alone and you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, who's talking?
I don't think I ever had that problem in the original one. I think it might be a port issue. Cause I remember.
That's just because you're acoustic and you understand how
What
these
the
things work.
fuck? No, but I remember them having like the little PNG sprites in the background as they would talk. Like if it's in their head, you know. That's how I remember
Yeah.
it. But they
Oh,
don't
is it
do it
just
like
a
that.
mod then?
I'm sure.
Yeah. It's
I'm sure a
probably it.
diehard would be like, "Oh, it's meant to be vague, so you can interpret it as either him or the narrator, and it changes the context of the scene." Like that's cope. You're coping.
Yeah, that's some Todd Howard shit right there.
Vague does not always equal good. I just think it's weird that they can't just have narrator : it's a big fucking deal to me. So.
All right.
So is this in or out of the game board?
It's in. We're in.
Yeah, in game board narrator.
In the lobby of the Nijima airport, Maria dashed around in excitement. Battler's uproar on the plane must have been hilarious.
Hey, Maria, cut that out! I'm sorry, Battler-kun. Please don't take it badly. No!
What a pathetic guy you are. Even with that huge body, you still can't handle vehicles.
Oh, shut up. All humans have one or two things they can't handle.
Battler-kun, why don't you come with your aunt on an overseas trip sometime soon? How about Europe? I'm sure you could manage a half-day trip on a plane.
Stop it, Mother. Battler-kun's dislike for vehicles is probably genetic.
Oh, you mean Asumu-san? Oh, I love how she cuts in as soon as her name is mentioned.
For some reason, she just couldn't handle vehicles. Pretty much anything other than a bicycle or car. Whenever we tried to go far away, that woman was so annoying with the not this, not that. I'm scared. Fall, get out.
Oh my god.
Children tend to learn that things their parents can't handle are dangerous. I'm sure Battler-kun saw Suma-san doing something like that and learned that vehicles are scary.
So it's Asumu-san's genes then, is it? Oh my god.
Who knows? Those would be some pretty annoying genes. It's enough talking about Asuma. Right now, you're the one who's here, right?
You're right. Sorry.
This guy.
Oh.
Damn.
Hey, the cars are here! Exactly 3 of them. Get in, get in!
Fall! Where's the parachute? Where's the parachute?
He wants a Formula 1 race car.
You little! Hold on, stop right there!
Oh
I'll
god.
send you to the little girl tickle punishment!
This guy's a freak.
We're back,
Yes.
we're back. We're so back.
My god.
Oh my god, Kinzo, we're
She
not
does
even
a
on the
Formula 1
island.
race car.
Being in high spirits is such a wonderful thing. Without Battler-kun and Maria-chan, the atmosphere in that plane would have been pretty grim.
Thanks. I'll assume you mean that literally. Hey, brats, the taxis are here. You can play around later.
Taxi! I'm getting in first! Hey, Maria, and you too, Battler-kun, stop fooling around. You'll bump into someone.
Aunt Rosa.
So dry, I'm so dry.
You're so...
Well, then moisten.
Moisten!
I'm trying, I'm
Get
moistening.
Get wet now! Get
Gross,
wet
dude.
now! Get
I'm
wet
uncomfortable.
now!
I'm calling what is it? Human resources? Head of human resources. AKA myself. Stop.
Oh god. Oh
I
god.
drink
Oh,
water.
everyone's dry! Everyone's dry! Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Drink water. Went down the wrong hole.
Oh, you know what else went down the wrong hole?
You,
Monday.
you better stop right now. That is not funny. You're disgusting.
Oh.
How could you say something like that?
You're being...
Your
That's so
mom
nice of you to say. Oh my god, Shane.
and your dad. At the same time.
You can't tell me when I can be moist. Oh my god, Shane! Shane!
Dude, he's gone. It's over. You can't tell me when I can be moist or dry. Real shit. Remember, guys, consent first. This is very important.
Only God.
Only God can tell me when I'm moist
Consent
or dry.
with
Only
room for
our
God.
Lord.
It's got to be a three-way.
The
between you
Lord,
guys and
our
God.
Father, the Christian God. Catholic Jesus.
The tone of Aunt Rosa's voice grew a little frightening. That's it. That's all he said. That's all he said anyway. 'Cause it's the narrator now.
What the fuck?
This sucks, dude. Why is it like that? Does it need to switch?
It doesn't.
And if it does, why can't it tell me?
Yeah, why can't it be on 2 different text bubbles? At least.
When even Battler realized they were fooling around a bit too much, just as expected, he bumped into someone.
Ugh.
You know, actually, have we thought about this, guys? To be fair, do we think it's possible that sometimes the narrator just is describing her with the term "aunt"?
No.
Do we think that? Do we not think that's a fair interpretation?
No.
No, because when it's been said as Ant, it has always been from the point of view of Battler. It has his insights specifically.
Yeah.
Because usually when it's describing things a bit more opaquely is when it refers to them as their full names or the Chan or something or what the honorifics.
I was wondering because it's been a long time. I wasn't sure if that was consistent.
It
like,
was. It hasn't been
through
consistent.
the whole time.
It hasn't. That part of it hasn't been inconsistent from what I can tell. It's just that there's no feasible transition.
Meow.
Okay, because I was wondering if there was like some tangible difference to like, you know, why it's important, right?
Meow.
So I guess that's a good example because whenever terms like that are being used for characters, he's normally like a more impartial description is given, right, for the narrator.
Yeah. So the point of view is always written correctly. It's just never announced which point of view it is, and that's the main issue.
Fire game though. Fire game.
Sorry.
Battler-kun, you guys are gonna hit that. Go. What the fuck? Why did I?
You guys are gonna get hit by that car.
You guys are gonna get hit by the car. That's what I thought he was about to say.
They will die.
Battler-kun, you guys are going in that car. You're keeping them waiting. Oh yeah, and this is narrated. Okay, see? Fuck it. After George urged him to hurry on, Battler apologized to the person he had bumped into, and ran up to his parents, who were telling him to come quickly. With a clunking sound, the doors on the 3 taxis were shut one after another, and they departed from the harbor.
Hooray!
Yay.
Oh.
As their taxis dashed away, the entire world grew suddenly dull and slowed to a halt. Voices, the wind, and even the sound, all of it stopped, and the people who were trying to move froze like the instant someone takes a photo. Coming to a halt, people and machines, and clock hands, even the dust dancing in the wind, were frozen. Some people who were walking froze with one leg still in the air. Scraps of paper dancing in the wind were pinned in midair, frozen in place. Then, among the shadows still standing in this unmoving world, a single one stirred.
Ah, yeah.
It was a girl. The girl Battler had just bumped into.
Oh, that's rough.
Though she had moved, it was a truly subtle thing. There we go. Her gaze dropped, her shoulders lowered a minuscule amount, and she sighed. That was all. In a normal world, that probably wouldn't even be taken as movement, but in this still world, it looked very out of place. Then, something else moved. It was a black cat wandering around the shadows near the taxi rank. It came up right behind the girl, and leisurely changed its form into that of a human. This was no cat. It was a witch. Of course, the girl was also a witch. As the witch stood still, her gaze still downwards, she muttered,
I can't stop everyone from going to Rokenjima, can I?
You cannot.
On October 4th, 1986, you are not here.
If I were, would stopping everyone really have been possible?
Well, I can't imagine what a 6-year-old girl could do to make them turn back. Still, that's right. If you were here in this place, the probability wouldn't have been 0. Whenever there's a probability greater than 0, I can seek out a miracle.
If I hadn't been stuck, and they hadn't left me behind.
With her head facing downwards, the witch tightened her fists. They were trembling very slightly.
You were sick in bed starting October 3rd, 1986.
And that's the day before. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we are gonna get I think little girl Anjay. So it is Anjay, right?
Yes? Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. We were talking about it a lot last time.
Brie got mad at me.
Oh,
the
you're talking
evil-
about the name. Oh, I thought you meant like
Yeah.
the girl was Anjay. I'm like, yes.
No, that's how you say it, right?
Yes, that's how
Just
you
for
say
the
it.
record? Okay.
Anjay.
And Beato's game board is sealed off starting October 4th. You are not given a chance to avoid getting sick. In other words, it would normally be absolutely impossible for you to enter her game board.
Thanks for being patronizing. I know that. I know that just seeing father, mother, and Onicha unhealthy like this, even that alone, is a spectacular miracle.
Anjay had tried to stand in the way of her family, attempting to stop them from leaving the airport and heading towards Rokinjima. However, it was impossible for her to exist in October 4th, 1986, so she couldn't do it. Even though her brother had only bumped into her and apologized, even though he hadn't realized she was his own little sister. It had been such a miracle that she could cry.
Like the seagulls? Like when the seagulls cry?
Oh my gosh, she was the
She's
seagulls the whole time.
I was gonna make a joke about calling it a bomb threat on the airport, but I realized it's 1986 and they would have been like, eh.
Yeah.
Sorry
Dude,
about the
she's,
sarcasm.
Is she a bunch of seagulls in
Real.
a flesh suit?
Real. I won't waste the miracle you've given me.
I'm glad to hear it. Come, let us go with them to Rokinjima. All of the pieces are already gathered. The curtain will open on the 4th game. By this time, Beato and Battler will already be seated.
To Rokinjima. To where everyone's fates changed. The Rokinjima of October 4th, 1986.
Yeah, we've been doing that every time. Come on.
What happened on that day? I'll expose it. I'll learn what it is, and I'll bring them back.
The only person who can solve the mystery is the person who wasn't there. Oh my god.
Yes.
As she stood there with her fists still clenched, she surely turned her face up to the heavens. A single teardrop, and I realize you just told me that this is on the game board just so I wouldn't do the Scottish voice, so I'm mad at you for that, because it's clearly not in the game board, but whatever. A single teardrop from the depths of her eyes dripped down into the air.
That's literally on the Game Boy. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's literally the day before, so literally not.
No, it's not!
Oh,
They
They
just
literally
arrived!
just said it was.
No,
They
no,
literally
they didn't.
just said it
No,
was.
no. They all arrived at the airport and they're going to Rokinjima, so it's October 4th. You silly
They
Billy.
just said it was the 3rd.
No, they were
Yeah,
talking about
they
her
literally
being-
said October 4th would be the next day. I promise you.
They literally did say
it said
that.
October. Guys, I need you to go
Look, no,
back
no, no,
and
no.
clip
Listen,
at the
listen.
start where it says
Listen.
October 4th.
Listen. The text scroll at the very beginning said October 4th. But when we got in the game and started reading the dialogue, all of the characters were talking about how it was October 3rd. So the context is not there.
I don't.
Yeah, no,
agree,
they
but
started
it's
talking
okay.
about the. Okay.
If you want to be
October
Scottish,
3rd,
you could be
he
Scottish.
should be Scottish.
If you want to be Scottish, you could be Scottish.
No, it's
Shay.
fine. No, you hate it so much. I'm just gonna.
I care. I care.
I'm just gonna.
immensely.
No, I'm
I
gonna
hope you
kill
both
him.
know
I mean,
that.
he's dead. No, he's dead. Bree wants him dead. He's dead.
This is
I'd never.
propaganda. This is propaganda by the streamer.
All right.
And when time started moving again, the two witches' figures were swallowed up by a blowing gale, and it erased in an instant.
Oh my god.
What the? Oh my
New
god!
intro. New intro.
I mean, dude, it makes sense. Big
New
shift in the
intro!
status quo. It's just getting serious, man. We have added yet another character.
I forget what this
There's
one
gonna
looks
be
like.
so many more too.
Oh, and the island is kind of butterfly shaped. Haha.
Ha ha ha.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Here's old CG you've seen before with a
Yeah, but we get a
different
song.
filter and also zoomed in picture of a rose.
They're in the sea.
So, does this mean Battler's not the main character anymore?
I don't know.
Fucking answer me for once. Come on, I
I
know
actually
you
don't
know.
remember. I actually don't remember.
Does this mean we still have to deal
You always
with
say that.
goddamn
You always say that.
Avatris?
I don't believe you. You're lying. You know. You always say it, and then when I bring it up again later, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I knew that."
I don't remember right now.
Boo!
Bro gets points all the time. That's all he
Nice.
does.
Oh, the little family pig. Oh, ow. Oh, so
Man,
fire.
After he escapes this hellish time loop, Battler should really go to law school
Real.
Become like
and
a Saul
then just
Goodman type figure.
prosecute his own family.
Oh, that'd be fire, actually.
Oh, we're in the secret room.
Ah,
Who is here? Oh, hi. Oh.
good morning, milady. My, do you appear to be in a good mood? What a pleasant awakening you seem to have had.
Oh.
What do you mean, pleasant awakening? I was so excited I couldn't sleep a wink. After all, the curtain is rising on the fun fourth game.
See, now it's not in the game
she.
board.
Oh, right. It seemed that she'd truly been so excited that she hadn't gotten any sleep. And I fucking live, bitch, right? Did she show absolutely no signs of lacking sleep because she was young, or because she had the mind of a little kid?
Oh.
Renove chose not to say that aloud. No, it was Renove, so Renove. But wait, hold on. I'm so confused.
He's having a crisis. That was scary.
I think I just had an aneurysm.
Yeah, that was wild.
I can't
The
remember
voices all
math
collided, bro.
anymore. Renove chose not to say that aloud, and that way, but I'm.
All right,
What?
we're moving
I
on.
don't know who's talking.
Alright, we're going.
I don't know who's talking.
Dude, I'm so sad that she's back to being like unsympathetic, actually. But you can't trick me. I know she's gonna get a redemption. I know it.
I really ran that battler into the ground last time. The look on his face when he was like, "You tricked me." That was so pathetic. Even so, is that guy still feeling down?
Feeling down, you say?
Well, that's right. That man's a bit too trusting for his age, isn't he?
Indeed. Although you could call that his charm. I hate his laugh.
Ain't it the truth?
Ain't it the truth, bro?
Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? Well, speaking of which, didn't he totally fall for that one last time?
Yes, totally and splendidly. You violated the purity of one never deceived since the time of his birth, as well as his rosebud-like innocence, to all your heart's content. Even the joy of dashing across a field covered with a beautiful new snow on a winter morning and trampling it completely wouldn't even begin to compare.
Damn.
Didn't you take Battler Summer's innocent heart and quite thrillingly, splendidly, atrociously, mercilessly, and unculturedly go just a little too far? And you insulted him to the highest degree, enough to make one uneasy. Most people would be crushed after something like that. So much that they wouldn't want to see your face ever again.
I know that much. I also, thought that if he was too disheartened to join us at the table, even though the fourth game is finally starting, that would be such a pain. So I came to you, thinking that it'd be better to prepare a countermeasure for that case beforehand.
In that case, perhaps it really would be best to prepare such a countermeasure. I am sad to say that your North Wind and the Sun strategy gave Battler Summer quite a shock.
Oh, a shock, you say? How bad of one?
Beto lowered her voice slightly, asking timidly. Renove followed suit and lowered his voice in the same way.
Oh no.
In truth, he has been crouching and clutching at his knees for some time now. I spoke to him several times, but he did not answer.
Oh, wow.
I also brought him some food, but he never even touched it.
That is troublesome. Is he really feeling that down?
It is only natural. After all, you've thoroughly beat him down, milady. That would make most people start to distrust humans.
Oh, distrust of humans, how convenient. Let him give up on humans and trust witches. Oh. Sorry, I shouldn't fool around too much.
Beto had tried to joke about it, but the situation seemed to be quite serious, so that even she took the hint and hid her laughter.
Is it really that serious? Shall we wait just a little longer before beginning the fourth game?
Lady Burncastle's guest will be arriving, so it may be best to open the fourth game quickly. However, perhaps you ought to show a little concern for Battler's feelings, milady.
Concern? Show concern, you say? How should I do that? He is feeling down, so... That's right, shall I cheer him up?
What is this music?
Hold on, let me turn
We're
this
getting
up.
jazzy, bro.
Yeah, it's really quiet for some reason.
Wow.
Yeah, what the heck?
What is she meant to do with him?
She's gonna cheer him up somehow.
Yeah, this is like Phoenix Wright, like
Yeah.
them, like chilling out before investigating a case. Like,
There's lyrics.
oh my God. When a person's heart is dark and closed off, interacting with them in a dark manner gains you nothing. Your only option is to shine with a brightness stronger than the dark.
Oh. Oh!
What the fuck? Okay.
What is happening?
Did they bring the music to him? Like,
Yeah,
literally?
they brought I guess they brought the music to him.
Damn it,
just went
quit
in the-
messing around!
That was some Seinfeld shit. Basically, she just kicks the door down. Hey, Butler!
Yeah, seriously.
Was that me? I forget. I really
forget.
forget. I'm over here, croissant made by Rodolphe. So much will be wasting the likes of you. Why don't I enjoy myself? Oh. Oh no.
Butler's stomach involuntarily growled at the fragrant smell of the croissant. His breakfast plate was empty, but Butler hadn't eaten any of it. The biggest glutton of the 7 Sisters of Purgatory, Beelzebub, had waited for Renove to
No!
leave and then come to snatch the food away. Battler had noticed, and they hadn't really been noisy ever since, even though Beelzebub only had to give it back immediately, or else throw it into her own mouth right away. She intentionally ran around in circles, making fun of Battler.
Give me my breakfast back, damn it! If you give it back now, I'll let you off with a single flick to the forehead. But just you try eating it.
What, are you gonna eat me up instead? If you think you can, just try it. I bet it'll be as sweet as honey pancakes. Oh.
The fuck?
Damn, he flicked her.
Gotcha! Right now, I want to eat that bread even more
Damn.
than your thighs.
Damn!
Be a good girl and give it here.
Damn!
What the fuck is
Wow,
fugagigi?
That's crazy.
Damn!
Fugagigi.
No, wait, I won't give it to you. Even the croissant wants me to eat it. Yeah!
Holy shit, no way.
What is happening?
Dude, it's literally Seinfeld.
Yay, yahoo! Good morning, Battler. Are you still moping so early in the morning? It's the beginning of a new day and a new game, so let's get our spirits up.
That she ruined it. She ruined the vibe. She ruined the vibe.
She flung the door open, like a marathon runner drawn on a certain caramel box with her hands held high and an idiotic cheeriness. That's some cultural joke we won't get. Beto appeared.
Yeah.
For some reason, flags from around the world and confetti scattered about, perfectly complementing this magnificent entrance.
Wow.
What is happening?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Battler and Beelzebub, who had been fighting over the croissant, completely forgot about their argument, speechless.
Good morning, Beatrice Summer. I'll just be on my way now. Here, Battler-kun, say ah.
Nice.
Just shove it in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. He took it though.
Yeah. He was hungry.
Hey, morning, Beto. Glad to see you're cheery this morning.
Also, hi, Jamie.
What up?
Oh,
Didn't even say hi, just dropped the song.
Yep.
Goat.
Good. Beto and Battler looked at each other. It seemed neither had a clue what was going on with the other.
Just kiss. I mean, what?
Battler, what's going on, Renove? He looks really fine, doesn't he? He isn't clutching his knees, and I don't know what I said. Wait a sec, he was even in the middle of eating.
There's no way just bullshitting.
I think he
Yeah.
lied.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he was sleeping like a baby in his futon, clutching his knees. I informed him that it was time to wake up, but he just wouldn't rise. I tried to feed him, but it seems that a naughty cat wandered in and prevented that.
You tricked me!
You should talk. Weren't you the one who played that massive trick last time? I don't have a clue what's going on, but it looks like you got what you deserved. By the way, Renove, nice one.
Thank you very much, Battler-san.
They're bros.
The two men stuck their thumbs up as though they understood each other, chuckling together.
Damn, Shane, that's us for real.
Just banding together to gaslight someone.
That's
Yes.
me. It's me.
Yes.
I'm the one being gaslighted.
For a while, Beto was very energetic, trying to hide her embarrassment.
Guys, they're saying Renova and Battler should kiss, so I guess you guys have to kiss
Oh,
now.
dude, trust me. They're not the only ones saying it. It's out there. I've seen
Oh,
it.
damn!
Mwah.
Damn! Am I gonna Fujoshi out right now?
Don't take me so lightly. Did you really think I'd still be hiding in a corner holding my knees?
And who was that person crying their eyes out in frustration last time? You could have gathered your tears in a jar and called it face lotion.
Damn!
What?
Damn!
Shut up. That was, just because I was a little surprised by your crappy act. I might have looked a little lame, but I don't think the same move will work twice.
Of course not. And don't disappoint me by falling for the same move over and over again, okay?
Yeah, you just watch. I'll show you that I'm a guy who gets stronger every time he's beaten down. But, Beato,
Yes, what?
don't do it again.
Oh, why's that? So you really are weak against a rear attack.
Dear God.
You and I are enemies, and will certainly never join forces. I now understand that clearly. So don't you ever try to trick me about that fact again.
Damn.
You say that, but knowing your weaknesses, I'll...
Beto thought that they were still joking around, but that tone had disappeared from Battler's expression some time ago. Beto felt as though his eyes were like the surface of the black tea that had cooled down.
You hear me? Don't do it again.
I don't get it. I might do it again when you've forgotten, right?
Don't do it again.
Pierced by his strong and forceful gaze, Beto held her tongue. Maybe she was certain that Battler would break that silence with laughter. However, Battler's serious expression didn't change in the slightest. So to break that silence, Beto had no choice but to start laughing herself.
Very well. You and I are worthy opponents. No matter how friendly our relationship, we'll never be anything more than a pair of enemies. If you have not mistaken this, that is enough for me.
That's right. I almost forgot you were my enemy for a second there. I won't embarrass myself like that again. I won't fall for your rear attack again. Never again.
It seems I'm not the only one who cannot wait for the fourth game. I am pleased, Battler. Come, take your seat.
Yep, just how I like it. Clever little tricks won't work anymore.
Stop acting so tough. You remain in a state of surrender for the last mystery in the previous game. The mystery of Nanjo's murder.
My answers for that one's still on hold for now. But that doesn't mean I've lost heart. I'll definitely break your red truth and show that I can deny witches.
A commendable attitude. You truly are a man like a phoenix. Don't betray my expectations. With that, let us raise the curtains on the fourth game. But before that, it seems we must welcome a new guest.
A guest?
You remember as well, correct? That mystery girl who appeared at the very end of the last game without an invitation, ruining my fun.
That person.
She says she wants to join our game. I sent her an official invitation inviting her to join this match. Renove, summon our guest.
There is no need. I'm already here.
The voice that answered Beto's call came from the darkness in a corner of the room. When Battler turned around in surprise, he could now see the mystery girl there.
My, how rude. All you had to do is greet us as soon as you arrived.
I don't make a habit of talking to people before punching them. After I punch is a different story, though.
Oh, and what would you say?
Good night. Have a nice dream.
Have a nice dream.
Nice dream.
How amusing! How truly amusing! Yay!
Beto cackled and clapped her hands, but that was only Beto, and nothing rose to Battler's face except a bitter smile.
She wants to join our D&D group, Battler, you down?
Phew, you sure are a fighter.
Battler and the girl's eyes met, and he shrugged his shoulders as he spoke. But the girl didn't answer, giving only a cold stare in return.
You helped me out at the end of the last game. Thanks for that.
I don't need your gratitude. You were just slacking off. I only told you to open your eyes.
That's so true. Stop slacking off, Battler.
Beto tried to laugh as though sympathizing with her, but it didn't reach the girl's eyes. Ears. Shit. Fuck. She did absolutely nothing except stare at Battler with ice-cold eyes.
Well, it looks like someone hates me.
I'm just annoyed that you aren't taking this fight seriously.
You saying I'm not serious about this?
Don't tell me that travesty earlier was you being serious. Don't take me for a fool. How long do you intend to play along with a witch's farce like this?
I'm fighting Beato in my own way, and doing it seriously, of course.
Seriously? Don't make me laugh. You keep on drinking tea and chatting with a witch for all eternity, and call that fighting seriously? Keep the jokes to just your hairdo.
Jesus.
Well, that's because I wasn't used to this witch's game in the beginning, and I've been through a lot of harsh stuff. Still, I'm finally starting to see how to fight, and I'm getting the knacks of doing it. If the pathetic way I've been acting makes it look like I haven't been serious to you, you're just wrong.
Is that so?
Of course, I know I've got to close in a lot more before I can grab Beato by the collar. But no matter how long the distance may be, it's still finite. And in each game that passes, I'm steadily closing that distance step by step. No matter how long it takes, I'll close in on that witch, and I'll definitely checkmate her. It might take 1,000 years to use her phrase. But even so, I'll definitely win sooner or later. Why? Because I definitely won't accept losing. I definitely won't stop moving forward, closing in on her. In other words, there's just one thing I can say for sure.
Oh!
I will definitely win against that witch someday! That's how it is.
You really don't sound like you're in a hurry. Are you even trying to win? Even the finite can become endless if you treat it the wrong way. By now, you've become an Achilles who couldn't even outstrip a turtle. I get it. So this is why I'm needed. At this rate, there's no way you could win against the Endless Witch even after 1 billion years.
Who are you? It's not like you'll be struck by lightning if you just tell me your name.
She didn't tell him? At that point, the girl fell silent, gazing straight into Battler's eyes. At first, Battler faltered under the firmness of that look, and his gaze wavered slightly. But then his eyes gradually began to be sucked into the pupils that were staring at him. Then, inside those eyes, he saw a light that he'd seen somewhere before. Battler was struck by how strongly they resembled the eyes of a girl who definitely couldn't be here, even though that was completely impossible.
I know it's stupid, but for some reason it feels true to me. But that can't be right. That person's supposed to still be 6 years old. You couldn't possibly be... Anjay, could you?
If I were to say that's right, would you believe me? I'll put it another way. If I said, I am your ally, so trust me, would you believe it? Would you unconditionally trust some unknown girl you're meeting for the first time just because she looks a little like someone you know? It's because you're such a softie that you got tricked so easily in the last game and cried so bitterly. You said it yourself. That kid is 6, right? Do I look like I'm 6? If I were to claim that I'm that kid despite that, would you just swallow that story?
If you say it like that, there's no way I can argue back. Sorry. That's right, I am a softie. And that should have been made clear to me after the last game. Is this what you meant when you said I wasn't being serious?
Yes. You may think you're fighting against a witch, but you're just getting along with her and playing. You're just playing at fighting in a friendly game of chess. That may be a serious contest for you two, but looking at it from far away, I only see you playing around and following the rules like you're good friends.
That's, harsh.
But as long as you're unable to win at this game, you won't be released from this place. That's why I came. I came to bring this game to its conclusion. You claim that you're closing in on the witch, but you're just like a hamster running around in a wheel.
Oh, one of those. Those things that run around in place night after night.
At a glance, you might think that running around in a wheel is endless. The endless witch Beatrice. It's just like you. He thinks he's fighting, but he's actually just running around in a wheel while making a fool of himself. This isn't a game. This is nothing more than a cage to shut him up in for all eternity.
Oh, you liken my endless to something like a wheel that a mouse plays in. Interesting. Interesting.
Something that's endless in a certain dimension can be less than endless in a higher one. The fact that a Menger sponge has infinite surface area only matters in a world of less than 3 dimensions. In the 3-dimensional world of reality, it has 0 mass. Not only is it not endless, it doesn't even exist.
What an assertive woman! It seems you are worthy of being called my enemy.
Well, I definitely see where part of her motivation is coming from now. She's not even a witch, right? She's like Witch's biggest fangirl. So, well, yes, we were literally told that, right?
Well, Anji didn't even want to become a witch.
No, Beato.
Oh,
No, talking about
Beato! Sorry.
Beatrice,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she's not even a witch. She's literally like Witch's biggest Discord debate fangirl. So she definitely does want the game to keep going to a degree, I think, right? So she doesn't have to lose her powers.
Yeah, she's just the champion of Lambda at this point, right?
Yeah, so like even if she doesn't lose, and that's the end of it, that's still like if she has to play again, that's still a win for her because she doesn't lose her
Yeah, but and
witchiness.
that's the problem with Lambda though, because she needs her to win every single time, or else she'll lose Burn Castle.
I didn't understand that when they explained it. What are the rules of that exactly? Why?
mean,
What was the game that her and Burncastle were playing that needs Beato to win?
I don't know if it's a game. I don't think it's a game between them two. It's just a place where she can keep Burncastle, because if she wins, if Burncastle wins, then she can leave, right?
Yeah.
Or,
Because she's like trapped or whatever, basically, right?
Like she's trapped, or she's being preoccupied, right? But like,
okay, so
if
like
she
she
Lambda
has to
is
deal with this
doing
first.
Yeah, Lambda is doing something that is keeping her occupied.
yeah, so she could be next to her, right? So they could stay together.
Right, and because Lambda is the witch of certainty, that means that Beato needs to win every time or else she instantly loses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's literally, again, it goes to Schrodinger's, because it's certainty, so as soon as uncertainty comes into play, then everything's possible again, and then
That's
that's
right,
the
and
actual,
we know that,
that's
you
where
know,
the actual endless begins, I think.
Right, because Beato was saying that she had powers of certainty or whatever, but she didn't. She just works for the witch that does, basically, so she needs a person who doesn't actually have those abilities to just win every time while uncertainty is being introduced. It's crazy, bro. The witch society has like their own like there's like tiers to everything going on, you know what I mean?
Well, the witch society is entirely metaphysical.
Mm-hmm. I'm already like out of water. That sucks. Who are you?
am your ally. And an enemy of witches. Of course, you don't have to believe it. No one can prove that I really am your ally. On the contrary, it's more desirable that you keep your guard up strongly enough to find me very suspicious.
That's right. Last time ended pretty bad. I've got to be at least that careful. I don't plan on getting tricked twice.
Beato laughed in a truly pleased way, which was humiliating only to Battler.
People don't just get tricked out of the blue. That only happens when they fail to check things for themselves and leave it to other people. Saying that you thought the light had turned green just because you saw other people start crossing doesn't count as an excuse for getting into an accident. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. You're telling me not to swallow information given to me by others, but to think for myself. In the past, I swallowed all the magic Beato showed me. I stopped thinking, so I was useless.
Battler grimaced as he remembered his many painful losses. The witch watched and laughed again, putting on a bold appearance. Remember that one time you were naked on the floor? Okay.
I'll offer you advice in a way that works to your advantage. Of course, you shouldn't swallow everything I say, because no one can provide certain proof that I'm your ally.
In the last game,
Oh, it's
Julia
him, it's him.
killed me.
I was in there!
In the last game, Virgilia, who I thought was an ally, was actually on the witch's side. That's it?
Get back! Your bag!
No. Battler couldn't rid his head of that eerie smile worn by Virgilia, a person he'd once even thought of as trustworthy and reliable.
So I don't need you to unconditionally trust me. You might as well take my advice as nothing more than an opinion to be considered. After all, the player who's fighting in a game against the witch is you.
That's right. Saying I lost because I followed the moves of an outsider would be just too pathetic of an excuse.
Oh yes, my opponent is Battler. You're nothing more than an outsider. You should bear that in mind.
No, I'm not an outsider. With Beatrice and Ushiromiya Battler, and I, who gaze down from above, it's almost like a fight in the shape of a triangle. At a glance, it might not look like a united front, but having a united front doesn't necessarily mean fighting together.
Oh, what an odd thing to say.
She's here to poke your ass, Beatrice.
The red truth. I'ma use that. Just now, he described fighting with you as closing the distance. But you can't measure distance with a single eye. Only with two eyes are things visible in 3 dimensions, and only then can distance be judged. And even when you have 2 fields of vision, it's pointless if they're in the same place. You can pin down witches more accurately when they're far apart.
Shooting from different positions and different angles. So basically it's a crossfire. Interesting.
We're shooting from different positions and different angles, so I won't get along with anybody. That's how I'll keep my own position separate and catch the witch in a pincer attack.
It's Pythagorean.
Are you okay with this, Battler? This girl might actually be an ambush I set up, right? She might just be saying something plausible to gain your trust, right?
Maybe. She's been saying that over and over again herself. So of course I can't blindly accept her advice. But as to whether she's worthy of trust or not, I can think for myself and make a decision. As long as I don't stop thinking for myself, I won't be tricked by anyone again.
What confidence, Ushiromiya Battler! After you've said so much, it makes me want to trick you all over again, you see. I can't wait to see what kind of face you'll make when you realize you've been duped once more. How pleasant.
It looks like you know my name, but I don't know yours. Tell me.
For a while, the girl remained silent, without changing her expression even once. She looked as though she couldn't decide whether to say her name Or not, or possibly. As though she was deciding on the name she'd say on the spot.
Yeah, I get it, because she has to get him. He has to get out of it on his own, but she wants to like still influence him to win.
It is really cool that this has just been a visual novel that's like, hey, we're gonna introduce the reader to theoretical physics
Yeah.
Topics, just cause.
Just cause.
Yeah, and honestly, it's so much more than that too. Oh shit! Because it touches on a lot of like kind of highbrow topics, you know, like philosophy and shit.
I like this one. Oh, I like this one.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, I like this one.
Because you know, they touch on like philosophy, feminism, you know, some pretty heavy stuff in there. Religion.
Yeah. Ajay was just talking about the Pythagoras and needing two different points of reference. They've talked about quantum superposition.
Yeah.
They've talked about Schrodinger's cat. They've talked
Hell
about
yeah.
straw man arguments and
Right.
Hell yeah. Gretel.
Ghetto? You are?
That's my name, dumbass. Call me Gretel.
Then should I call myself Hansel? Just kidding. I'm Ushinomiya Battler. Let me battler.
Nice to meet you. I hate handshakes. Don't take it personally.
Oh, really? Sorry. After all, it isn't certain that you're my ally. And you just told me to keep my guard up, too.
Battler threw back his right hand which he had stuck out. His bitter smile disappeared and was replaced with a strong resolve directed at this new fourth game.
Battler, think deeply about why you must win against this witch. You can't stop with something abstract like, I'll beat her because I don't like it. Have a deep conviction that you'll definitely defeat the witch and escape from this world. Because there is definitely someone waiting for you to come back. For that kid's sake as well.
Maybe there was something she wanted to say.
Oh.
Gretel,
Maybe.
yeah, see?
Okay.
Huh.
Gretel clenched her fists in front of her chest and hung her head in silence, at a loss of words for a short while.
Oh, hey! Forget about me! What the fuck?
As though smashing through that silence, Beato spoke up in a forceful voice.
Good, that should be enough of an introduction for Gretel or whoever. Come, try to remember what happened on October 4th. Let the curtain open on the fourth game.
At the same time as though it had been blown by a sudden gust of wind, the clock that had been turned back to October 4th, 1986, started to move.
I love Beato in this scene. I imagine she was just frothing for being ignored for so long. Yeah, dude.
She's an attention whore, bro.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, this is Battler using
There's a wee.
While we remained in the witch's tea room, the blue-gray sea and the green Rokanjima spread out beneath us, and we could see a boat heading there, its wake trailing behind it. The sky was already cloudy, and it seemed that the barrier of the typhoon would soon shut the island away.
Cumulonimbus.
Cumulobimbus. Oh my god, got it.
There was the boat docked in the harbour, and Goda helping to unload it. Then, once all of its passengers had disembarked, the boat began to separate from the shoreline. The relatives were gradually swallowed up by the island.
And we also see an ATV.
Looks like you're as cheery as ever, Maria.
Maria-chan, you'll trip if you aren't careful. Look out.
Gonna fall, sink.
The long-missed cousins I had loved. That's not
I had
proper grammar.
loved.
I had loved them. But they're gone now. I had loved them so
Battler
much.
was raised in North Carolina.
The long-missed cousins I had loved dashed across the beach. getting swallowed by the forest path that led to the mansion, and disappeared. It's been on the whole time. This is fire.
Okay.
Dude, there's gonna be even worse problems now.
Oh no.
And of course, Oni-chan should be seen among them too.
Damn it! Stop right there, Maria! You nimble little brat!
Maria One-chan, whom I'd loved, started dashing, and Oni-chan chased after her. They were swallowed up by the forest. Following them, father and mother were also swallowed up.
I'm a whore.
We're still thinking of Maria as her big sister is crazy.
Yeah, she is. She's like 3 years older than her.
I bet you, but she's dead.
Oh.
So she can't have aged when you're dead.
The rest of the parents were swallowed up. They were swallowed up, leaving only me behind. Dumbass. How long are you gonna joke around and play with a witch in a place like this? Come back quickly. Oni-chan, don't leave me all alone. And realize how cruel and lonely the world I'm isolated in is.
UMINEKO.
I think that'll also spur on Battler further once he realizes that has someone else he's fighting for too.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what she's saying. Because remember what he said. He never really gave a fuck about these people in the family
Anjay's
that
future,
much.
St. Lucia
Yeah, he,
Academy after 1986. Sorry.
He thinks that it's about the all these groups of the family that he doesn't really care that much about or have that much attachment to. He's forgetting about Anjay. So she wants herself to be like that conviction she was talking about that he needs to have.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're in Anjay's future at her school. Good day to you. Good day to you.
Nice uniform, bro.
Good day to you is the standard greeting used here. No matter how many years pass by, the style of greeting still feels very awkward. Even though I'd responded to the greeting in order to stifle that awkward feeling, the classmate who had spoken looked at me blankly. Who wants to be the bitches?
I'll be one of the bitches.
Alright.
Ha, what's that? She's a mistake.
Oh, their choice of words and manner were certainly what you'd expect from a school for rich girls, but the actual meaning was as innocent and cruel as you'd expect from kids of that age. It seems they found it funny that I'd mistakenly thought the greeting was directed at me. No, it might be the opposite. Maybe they didn't know how to react after being suddenly greeted by a gloomy, quiet kid like me. No, judging by the gazes of my classmates, who were looking this way over their shoulders and whispering to each other, it looked as though some of them considered this refreshing morning ruined. I was dark, because I was disliked. So, trying not to get in the way of everyone's refreshing morning anymore, I stooped lower and entered the classroom. Almost like I was cutting through the aisle in a movie theater while the movie was running. Blah. This is an all-dorm school, St. Lucia Academy. It's not a school that anyone can get into by taking a test. It's a hidden rich girl school, known of only by a select group of celebrities from various fields.
That's terrifying.
For lofty
Capitalist
nobles,
elite school.
yeah, for lofty nobles who truly wish their daughters could be raised like saints, this is probably the ideal school in which to protect them from the impurities of the common world. But at the same time, it was probably also convenient for nobles who wanted to confine daughters they didn't want out in public. As well as an academy isolated from the impurities of the common world, it also held excellent potential as a prison school. I was truly among the latter, and I was confined in St. Lucia Academy, forced to live my life in dreariness. Of course, there weren't that many students like me, and you couldn't tell us apart at a glance. However, even if we never fessed up about it, you could usually figure out who we were by watching how we acted. After all, we were always hanging our heads, with an expression on our faces as though the whole world had abandoned us. Anyway, every class had one or two kids like that, so even if they didn't speak up about it, you could guess who they were. Therefore, even though I never confessed that I was one of those kids, At some point, everyone in my class knew about it. Just like how the seriousness of an injury becomes a sign of status in a hospital room, how noble a birth one had became a sign of status here. Those girls who couldn't be acknowledged in public were probably nothing more than filth to the others. They must have thought that getting involved with such students would dirty them as well. When a rumor sprang up about a particular student, those fastidious girls would grow cold and distant, chasing that student out of all social groups. Thanks to that, I led a quiet school life like this, all by myself. Well, that's only if hearing people whisper behind my back, finding my things lost or broken all the time, and having everyone pretend like they don't know anything can be called a quiet school life. Even this early in the morning, I must look worn out. I can almost understand why my other classmates, who had a refreshing morning, looked at my face and wanted to click their tongues. Consciously trying to do as I should and avoid tainting my classmates' morning, I quietly took my seat. Then, unusually, someone came to talk to me. It was the class leader.
Hold on, I'm drinking water. I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Good day to you, Ushiromiya-san. You seem to be in a bad mood this morning. Were you able to get enough sleep?
Is there some business you have with me?
You're the only one who has not submitted her questionnaire for the class presentation, Ushiromiya-san. Did you forget that the deadline was yesterday?
Why are you doing Team 4-Star Lord Chilled?
Oh, true.
I'm pretty sure I heard something about that last week, but I thought that the questionnaire hadn't been passed out yet. The details will be written there, so there shouldn't have been any need to remember them beforehand. I wasn't given a questionnaire.
That can't be. I believe the dormitory leader handed them out to everyone. If you lost it, all you have to do is honestly say so.
I lost it. I'll fill it in right now. There's the ATV in my mind. I'll fill it in right now. So could you give me a sheet? Again, either someone lost my sheet or they intentionally didn't tell me about it. But I have no way of knowing who was behind that. In the end, treating it as though it was my own carelessness would settle everything more quickly.
Once you've filled it out, drop it in the questionnaire box in the student council room yourself. Our class is the only one that didn't get everyone's in by yesterday.
As I hung my head at the class leader scolding, I could hear the giggles and whispers of people watching, coming from no direction in particular. Bitches! My bitches!
She reveals something again!
Just a car. She didn't even dare to bash God.
She had no dignity and no manners either.
Thanks, bitches.
You're welcome.
Sorry, girls, but I've dealt with much worse when it comes to unfair personal attacks. As I froze my heart and let those arrows of ridicule pass by, I quickly filled out the questionnaire. Wait, who's on the ATV now? Kinzo's dead. It's just Kinzo in her mind. He's
She
a figment
misses
of her
him,
imagination.
Reminisces on the ATV rides
Yeah.
that she wanted to take, but never did.
Never got to take it, Grandpa.
When I learned that father and mother and Oni-chan and all the rest of my family had died, I was at the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. The only survivor of the accident was Ushiromiya Eva. Only Aunt Eva. Even at that time, I hadn't really liked Aunt Eva. At a glance, she would act kindly, but even as young as I was, I could see that she was somehow making fun of father and the rest, and I hadn't liked it. So when it was decided that Aunt Eva would take care of me, I was pretty miserable. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered if that gentle Uncle Hideyoshi and George Nissan had been with me, but I hated the thought of living all alone with Aunt Eva. I'd frankly said that to Grandpa, hoping to live together in his house. However, Aunt Eva had been very insistent that she should be the one to look after me. She had no desire to remarry, so as her successor, I was essential if the Ushinomiya family was to continue. Aunt Ava felt very strongly about the family. She insisted that she take charge of me right away, so that she could give me an education and lifestyle fitting for a successor. After that, it seems that confusing negotiation with lawyers took place. But in the
Dude,
end...
I bet that her big, like, 5-head reason is that you can only be the head of the family if you fucking hated your life.
But in the end, I was forced to go live with Aunt Ava. After doing that, Aunt Ava told me something. You must bear all of the glory and history of the Ushinomiya family. And in order to make you a fitting successor to bear that, the rest of your life will be dedicated to frantic studying. Sacrifice the rest of your life for the Ushinomiya family. That's what she said. At first, I thought she meant that literally, but I quickly realized that that wasn't the case. Because even now, in Aunt Ava's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed her was the late George Nissan.
But I'm dead though.
Ah. At our first meal together, I received strict instructions and questioning about table manners, and was forced to listen to her abuse Mom and Dad as though they'd been neglectful in their discipline. I also received the same strict instructions regarding my manners at my first party, and my clumsiness had been disparaged in front of everybody, forcing me to endure insults to Mom and Dad as well. After that repeated over and over, I eventually began to understand. Aunt Ava didn't really want to make me her successor. She thought George Oni-chan was the only one truly suited to be her successor, and she couldn't forgive the fact that it was to be me instead. So she insulted me in front of lots of people. She humiliated me, and made it known exactly how I was inferior to George Oni-chan, to both acquaintances and strangers, surely in place of a memorial service for her dead son. Or rather, she must still be mourning his death. However, that wasn't something I could endure. I couldn't possibly live together with Aunt Ava. I was kept like a pet, my life continually compared with her dead son's. I understood that even when I was still in elementary school. I tried to escape the Ushinomiya house and run off to the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. However, Aunt Ava had already foreseen that. No, thinking back on it, she might have lured me into escaping. I was caught by the guards and brought back, and for being a coward who had smeared the Ushinomiya family crest with mud and tried to throw it away. In a way that makes my whole body shake and shiver just by remembering it, I was punished. How should I describe what Aunt Ava was like when she punished me? In a frenzy? Gleeful? I saw the anger and sadness of losing her beloved son, as well as the hatred and pain for me stealing that inheritance from the son who should have received it. And the dark pleasure at being able to let those feelings out on me. I was hit with all those negative emotions at once.
Man, that's really fucked up when you think about it, because it's like, you have this tragic event, right? And the only two people that are in the family that lived past it, right? Anjay, because she wasn't even involved, and Ava, because she was the only survivor, are suddenly both then supposed to like deal with like all of this generational like pain and trauma that has never really been resolved among the entire family, and all this pain that they've harbored up, and then
Not
like
to mention
Ava
that
becomes like the
it's
conduit
still-
for it.
Yeah, not to mention that Ava could have possibly been the one to have killed her parents.
Yeah, right. I mean, and then Anjay's got to deal with like taking on basically all of that hate that everybody had, as fucking she gets abused by like the only other remaining member of her family.
Yep. Then all of my free time and freedom to act was stolen, and I was put under surveillance around the clock. I may have lived in a gorgeous mansion, dressed in expensive clothes, but my heart and my dignity had been trampled upon, and I was the Ushinomiya family's slave. Its cattle. Compared to that lifestyle, the derisive laughter of my classmates here was calm and pleasant. It caused my heart no trouble. After burying almost all of the fields of the questionnaire with nothing in particular, I folded it and put it in my pocket. Because if I left it in my desk, it might disappear again. During lunch break, after dropping it off at the post box in the student council room, I finished lunch by myself, as usual, and headed behind the school building where no one could be seen. Only my time by myself could protect me from the derisive laughter and gossip. Since I was hated and didn't have a single friend, my time alone was the most kind to me. After checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my time of quiet, I finally relaxed the tension from my entire body, knowing that I had gained some true peace. Then, I let out a sigh. It faltered, heavy, as though it was the first time I had breathed out today. My old favorite place behind the vegetable garden storehouse had been found out by my classmates, and I'd been teased, so this was my new lunchtime hideaway. There was nowhere to sit behind the school building. As I crouched near the wall in the shadow of the bushes, I opened my bag and took out a book with an elaborate old-fashioned binding. Just glancing at it, you'd probably think it was a religious book or something written in the Middle Ages. But this wasn't a book. It was a diary. Of course, it wasn't my diary. There weren't any special things worth writing about in my daily life. Every single day was just gray, cold, and dry. In those completely unchanging days, there aren't any changes worth writing down. This was the diary of Maria One-chan, a girl I'd been very close to. She'd been a bit strange and 3 years older than me, but One-chan was always a warm, wonderful cousin. She would always grab me by the hand and let me join in on some fun game. I remember that being able to see her was the most fun part of our family gatherings. When I opened the diary, the characters, which were made fairly skillfully considering that this was an elementary schooler, were packed close together, though they were written on every other line. Was she just hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in her diary? Probably not. To her, writing her daily life down in a diary was probably like having a conversation with another part of herself. So rather than an object on which the events of her day were written down, Maria One-chan's diary was written like a letter to another part of herself, telling the events of that day. I found this diary among her belongings after her death, and secretly took it home. At first, I'd felt that reading someone else's diary might be boorish, and satisfied myself with just keeping it by my side, but I couldn't help flipping through the pages and reading through it bit by bit, and by now she had become my only friend. I gently opened to the page with a bookmark. So much water!
Oh my god.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Hey, you guys having a cool little break over there?
You can do it. Yeah, it's pretty chill.
Hey, I had to narrate
Yeah, you did.
the battle and so many. Listen,
Yeah, have your break, dude. Chill out.
yeah, don't use my break.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Maria One-chan. Could you let me hear your story again? At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew, tickling the paper. I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather's good today. Maria One-chan loves the wonderful rays of sunlight, so I'm sure she's in a good mood. On the pages of the open diary, no, in the world of the diary, Maria One-chan showed herself. Aww.
Aw, that's cute.
I'm pretty
Man.
sure she was 9 when she died, so her form was already younger than me. But I call her One-chan, so she affectionately calls me Anje.
Anje, you were slow getting here today. Was it packed at lunch?
Yes, it's always packed. Groups of friends set up camp in the seats, and they stay there even after they're finished eating. It's pretty fatal if you get to the dining hall late. I was on cleanup duty today.
I eat fast. The faster you eat, the more you can play.
Maybe she realized I was holding a grudge because that duty had been forced upon me and shortened my lunch break a bit. Maria One-chan barely changed the subject. Grateful for that act of kindness, I responded by saying I was a slow eater. Maria calmed me down, saying something about teaching me the trick to eating fast. I read about it in her diary. No, I heard it from Maria One-chan. She was ranked #1 among the girls in the speed eating ranking for her grade's newspaper. She was apparently very proud of that, but a little disappointed that her mother, Aunt Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it.
Then let's start our story for today. How far did we get yesterday?
This far. Until you got Sakutaro as a present, Maria One-chan.
Yes!
Sorry. You promised that you'd tell me about Sakutaro.
Let's talk about Sakutaro! You know, Sakutaro is a really cute stuffed animal. I'm sure you like him too, Anjay.
Yeah. Tell me that story. The only time I can relax at school is when I'm listening to your stories during lunch break.
I'll tell you about it. Sakutaro was really,
When I looked at Maria One-chan, who was always in a good mood, it made my heart feel warm as well. As I listened to her tale, I began to get absorbed into her world. Welcome back, Adam. Pumpkin. Look at this bitch. Happy birthday, Maria. Sorry I got back so late.
Aww.
Good job with your work, Mama. I know you're busy, so even though you were late, I waited without crying. I was good and waited watching TV.
Yes, you're such a good girl, Maria. As a present for waiting politely, you can order anything you want today. Of course, only as much as you can eat, okay?
Today I can change my corn soup. Oh, today can I change my corn soup to onion gratin soup?
Yes, that's fine.
It's 200 yen more expensive, but I can change it to prosciutto pizza?
Yes, that's fine, if you can really eat it. But that's okay. It's your birthday after all. There must be a reward for the good girl who waited so patiently.
Then can I have enchilada cheesecake for dessert?
What is that?
What the hell?
I know
Why
what
would you
I know what
even say
enchilada
that?
cheesecake. It's good. Enchilada cheesecake's good.
But what? I just can't imagine what that would look like based
It's
on
like
the name. I have to look it up.
it's like a basically a layered cheesecake that you bake in the oven. So like it's like a little sopapilla top
It's
and
not
bottom.
corn tortillas, is it?
No,
Uh,
no, I don't think it's
Like
corn.
so, okay.
No.
But it's like a, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because usually Sam makes it for my dad. But
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. I just need to know what the.
okay, while you look at that, can I pee? Can I pee? Okay, I'm gonna pee.
I guess we could take a break.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind
that works.
being able to use the bathroom.
Break
maybe.
for a little bit. Pee break. Pee break.
Let me get up for a second.
No more word game.
Owned.
No more word game. We must play.
I will now recite my social security number.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
5,
Oh?
5,
Oh.
5,
Oh.
5,
That's probably someone's.
5.
Dude, how fucked would that be? If someone just had one digit security, like, numbered?
Someone happened to be
That'd be such bad luck. Alright, let's hop back into it.
Yeah, Maria's
Huh?
eating a lot of food. She's gonna get a lot of food and eat.
And oh yeah, enchilada cheesecake for dessert, and then the chef's choice fruit salad and kids' French fries. I want to drink melon soda too. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Mama praise me.
You're getting a little too excited. If you don't quiet down a bit, you'll disturb the other customers. When Rosa gently admonished her, Maria stuck her tongue out and eased up a little. But it seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement at being able to eat out with her mother after such a long time. Today was Maria's birthday. Rosa always tried to let Maria spend her birthday at great restaurants. When Maria had been in kindergarten, they sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake and snacks and decorate the house herself, making it a huge celebration. But when they moved and Maria no longer had friends in the neighborhood, Rosa had started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. However, today, they were in a normal family restaurant. It was also a little late in the day for a kid like Maria to eat there, even with a parent. Actually, she had gotten reservations at a fantastic place that would surely have pleased Maria. Of course, she had also prepared a wonderful cake with Maria's name written on it. But Rosa just hadn't been able to finish up her business, and had been forced to cancel. Since that plan had been traded for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Maria. So she was prepared to spoil Maria a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight. You never used to eat much, did you, Maria One-chan? Was it really alright to order that much?
I can't eat very much, but I like to have a lot lined up. You know, like on a birthday table. If it's colored all over with red and blue and green and yellow, it makes me really happy.
You're right. Having your birthday table be colorful can make you feel happy. Birthdays at my place were no match for yours, Maria One-chan, but the cakes we bought at the Fumiya store in front of the station were always gorgeous. Andre thought back oh, that's not me. Oh, why am I a-wooing? Oh, but only for Maria. Rosa doesn't deserve a woo voice. Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jimmy did that. And wait, this is outside game table.
I guess so.
Yeah. Anjay thought back to her own birthdays nostalgically.
Oh my god, Rudolph. Even though Dad was busy, he sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party, and then went right back to his company. At the time, I was sad, but now I understand how important I was to Dad. Of course, Mom also took very good care of me. In particular, her birthday presents were always in excellent taste, and she sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. Even though we always sent an invitation to Battler Oni-chan, he didn't get along with Dad or something, so he kept not coming. So when he did come, I was really happy. The birthday parties when the whole 4-person family gathered made for fun memories that I'll never forget.
Auntie's birthday sounded like a lot of fun too. Battler and Uncle Rudolph are really lively. Yay, yay! Battler got covered in cola!
Maria One-chan peeked into my happy memory. As I sat quietly, wearing the origami helmet that Dad had made for fun, I was a little embarrassed. In my hand was a paper gun that Battler Oni-chan had folded for me, and Mom was taking a commemorative photo. It was the happiest moment of my life.
I hope we get to see more about their side of the family, like beyond the kids, at some point, because you can really tell that their big sin, I guess, in the eyes of the family is like not adopting, like not really caring about the traditional like highbrow lifestyle. You know, like Rudolph is like a real person who had like a failed marriage, you know, and like had a secret lover and shit. So that they're very obviously like they're the ones who are slanted for their behavior mostly, not even really anything like super important about them.
Well, it's all the generational trauma and pressure that Kinzo put on everybody that just trickled down.
Yeah.
But your birthday's no worse, Maria One-chan. And this is the day you get him, right? Sakutaro.
I was really looking forward to it. I got so excited wondering when Mama would show me the wrapped present in the corner of her bag.
Sakutaro is the name of a stuffed animal that Maria was to receive that day. For quite some time before then, Aunt Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give Maria as a present today. Hearing that it was a cute lion stuffed animal, Maria One-chan had already given it the name Sakutaro, even though she hadn't received it yet. Today, she was looking forward to meeting Sakutaro even more than her own birthday. Aunt Rosa ran a clothing design company. It seemed to be some kind of brand name. What was it? Anti-Rosa? Alright. It seems their catchphrase was, "I can't forgive the me of yesterday." Oh my god.
Shut the
That sucks.
fuck up.
Oh my god. Unfortunately, I've never met someone who knew of that brand name. Maybe it wasn't that famous. So, Aunt Rosa was pretty skilled with her hands. I heard that she made some of the clothing she wore herself. So making a stuffed animal had to be well within her capabilities. A handmade stuffed animal. That's pretty amazing. By the way, why did you call it Sakutaro?
I actually wanted to call it Sakura, but it's a male lion, so she told me to give it a boy's name. So I added a boy like Taro and called him Sakutaro. Eventually the last U disappeared.
Why Sakura?
The main character in Cardmaster Sakura.
Oh,
Fire.
huge anime watcher.
Yeah. It was the name of the main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. The fact that she'd simply borrowed the name of a character she liked was, how should I say it, as innocent and cute as you'd expect from someone that age.
Mama! Still no Sakutaro? I want to let Sakutaro join in on my birthday too!
Presents always come at the end, right? If you open it now, it'll get dirty. Hold on until the meal is over.
Then I'll
Now I
finish
wanna
eating quickly!
see- Now I want to see mid-20s Battler just look at Dragon Ball Z and be like, where was this my whole life? Because he
Oh
would.
yeah.
As soon as she proclaimed that, she started tearing into her meal. Aunt Rosa got mad at her, saying that was rude. It seemed that she'd expected this would happen right away. I also thought that, given how straightforward Maria was, that was probably what she'd do. So it was kind of pleasant when my expectations weren't betrayed. In the end, Aunt Rosa lost to her daughter's eyes, which were sparkling with anticipation, cleaned up the table, and took out the long-awaited wrapped present. Happy birthday, Maria. I wasn't able to spend much time on it, so I couldn't make it very well.
If you made it, I'll be happy with anything! Sakutaro, Sakutaro!
Aunt Rosa spoke a bit humbly, but Maria One-chan was happy, even before opening the wrapping. I could really understand that feeling. It's not a problem of quality. Just the fact that it was handmade, that it was a handmade present was more pleasing than anything.
Can I open it? Can I open it?
I wanted to wait until we got back home before doing it, but just for a bit, okay? We'll just take a look and say hello, then put it back. You can give him a proper greeting once we get home. We're in public, so you can't fool around, okay? Can you promise?
Promise, promise! So can I open it? Can I open it? Mama!
Ooh. Yes, just for a bit, okay?
Yay!
Before Aunt Rosa finished talking, Maria started unwrapping it. Track title: Maria's B-Day dinner at Denny's. Sagutano, my beloved!
He's pretty cool looking. I fuck with him.
As soon as she did, yellow and orange peeked out. What appeared was a slightly blank-looking lion stuffed animal, with cute round eyes and a white chest. It was about the size of a small pillow. It looked pretty big next to someone as short as Maria One-chan, but it probably wasn't that large. From the perspective of someone who didn't know better, it would probably look like something cheap bought from a department store or something. But to Maria One-chan, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world, and irreplaceable. There you go. Oh! Oh! CG! That's so cute. Oh,
I
that
love
bitch,
Maria.
that
I hate
bitch,
Rosa.
that bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still don't like Rosa, but this cute.
Sakutaro, Sakutaro! Cute, so cute! Thank you, Mama, thank you, Mama! Thank you so much for making such a cute stuffed animal, even though you're so busy with work!
If you praise me that much, it's actually embarrassing. I couldn't take much time, so I couldn't make anything that good. I actually wanted to make one so big that you couldn't wrap your arms around it.
Now this is good! With this size, we can always be together! We can go out together! Sakutaro, I'm your One-chan! You...
It really is an adorable stuffed animal. So this kid is Sakutaro, your best friend.
We can't go to school together, but me and my best friend are always together at home. But you know, Sakutaro is really innocent and cute and always nice to me. He supports me when I'm feeling down and plays along with me when I'm feeling good. So I'm never lonely anymore. Not lonely when Mama's busy with work and I'm all alone. Not even when no one plays with me at school. Isn't that right, Sakutaro?
Right. Cries. At school, Maria One-chan had lived in the same kind of environment as I did. Compared to the other kids in her class, Maria One-chan's tempo was always a little slow. Her sensibilities and ways of viewing things were a little peculiar, and a little too idiosyncratic for her to blend in. I know big words. Her grades were low as well, and since she was talkative about everything related to the occult, her specialty, she was treated like a weirdo by everyone in class. If you were touched by Maria One-chan, you'd be cursed. Stuff like that. Apparently, everyone in her class acted like she was disgusting, made fun of her, and avoided her. If a boy bumped into Maria One-chan, he'd start rubbing that part against the other boys, as if he'd gotten some scum on him. Oh no, she had the cheese touch. They picked up her stuff like it was something filthy and chased the other boys around with it. It seems the girls thought that even speaking to her was unpleasant, so they ignored her all the time, only giggling and sneering at her whenever she made a mistake. It looks like bullying is the same in all eras. Humans don't advance at all, do they? If only they just get wiped out.
I'm sad when I'm bullied, but I think it can be helped.
It can't be helped. Why not?
After all, there's a rule that says every class has to have a single bullied kid.
That's a horrible rule. I'd like to find the person who made it that and hit him over the head with a brick. Using the corner, of course. Thank you. Thank you, Anjay.
If I wasn't there, then there'd surely be a new bullied kid chosen in my place. By staying strong, I can protect that kid.
As she said that, she smiled faintly. Maria One-chan's way of thinking really is unusual. According to her, from the beginning, a witch had resided in that place called a school. No, she says that any place where a lot of people gather will have a witch residing there. The witch tries to steal the students' souls through death by disease or accidents. Apparently, she sometimes also corrupts those souls, leading them down that path of evil. She says that an angel came, not content to let that continue.
And the angel tried to finish off that witch. The witch was powerful, and the fight took 7 days and 7 nights. But even then, it wasn't over. The tired-out witch asked for a truce and proposed this.
I heard about that one before. Until now, I've made half of the students in the class become sick or injured. But in exchange, I've protected the remaining half of the students from sickness and injury. Therefore, if one member of the class becomes a sacrifice to me and is made into the bully kid, I shall protect all of the other students from sickness and injury. Right.
The angel thought about it. Compared to half the class meeting with the misfortune. What? Meeting with Compared to half the class meeting with misfortune, having only one person be unfortunate would be much better. Then,
Well, this is great because this is actual like Japanese social etiquette. Like Chris Broad talked about it in his book when he was teaching English. Like that was kind of that became the bullied kid's job.
That's epic.
And a lot of kids, that's why the suicide rate in schools is kind of high, because if you're just chosen to be bullied, that just becomes your place in the school and you can't really change it.
Oh yeah, their social hierarchies are super crazy.
Yeah, super fucked up.
then the witch said that she'd protect the safety of all the other students, using her powerful magic.
If there are 40 students in a class, and the 20 victims are reduced to 1, then 19 people are saved. It's actually a reasonable proposal. I wonder if there's some theme behind this fairy tale. If it's a creation by Maria One-chan, a 9-year-old girl, that'd be pretty impressive.
The angel decided to accept that proposal, so through that single sacrifice, 19 people were saved. That's why my role's important. The witch is protecting 19 people.
Because we become sacrifices? Well, I don't remember ever being thanked by those 19 people. Maria One-chan's idea was too compassionate. Both of us are suffering from a very similar type of misfortune. And yet, maybe a small difference in our way of thinking changes how peaceful our hearts are. So you aren't sad, Maria One-chan?
I'm not sad at all. After all, I'll be together with Sakutaro from now on. Right, Sakutaro?
Who wants to be Sakutaro?
Shane.
I agree, it should be Shane.
Give him a silly guy voice.
All right, give me a second. Let me think of a.
This is important.
I think it should be high pitched. That's my only direction.
If I can be with Maria, I'll be happy too.
Yeah! Look, Sakutaro says he's happy too.
Here's what I said.
It is Monokuma! Oh my god! That is
Well,
your Monokuma voice.
that's kind of where it goes. I don't know what
I
you
love
expect
it.
out of me.
I love
That's where
it.
it's gonna happen.
I love it! Maria One-chan hugged the Sakutaro stuffed animal, playing both sides of the conversation herself. I don't understand it. But that's exactly why I want to reach Maria One-chan's level. So I was intensely drawn to her tale and her words.
Anjay, is it tough because you're all alone?
It is tough. But just the time I can be like this with you is different. Because I'm not all alone.
Then, if Sakutaro also becomes your friend, it'll be even more fun. Then starting today, Sakutaro is Anjay's new friend. Right, Sakutaro?
Yeah!
There he is. How do you say that?
Uryu.
What were you saying for
Uryu.
Uryu?
Ariel, I am Ajay's friend. Ariel, Ajay! I was just a little lion. I'm tired.
Skillfully moving the stuffed animal like it was a puppet, Maria One-chan expressed Sakutaro's emotions. She was controlling him, but the charming way she waved his short hand and cocked his head to the side made it feel like he was really a new friend called Sakutaro. Of course, looking at it with cold eyes, it would only appear that Maria One-chan was comforting me when I was grumpy. But a soul had definitely been set into that stuffed animal. The soul of Maria One-chan's love. So I acknowledged the existence of a being called Sakutaro inside that stuffed animal.
Come on, say hi to Sakutaro too, Anjay. Come on, you say hi too, Sakutaro.
Is Ajay a scary person?
Show us on the
Sakutaro
human doll where she touched you, bro.
As Sakutaro timidly looked at me, he unexpectedly met my gaze and hid behind Maria One-chan's back in surprise. Maria
Cool ghost stories.
One-chan...
Touch me! Touch me harder!
Oh my god! Maria One-chan really is good at playing with stuffed animals.
It's okay, Sakutaro. Andre isn't scary. She's a really nice girl.
Hello, I'm Sakutaro.
Pleased to meet you, Sakutano. I'm Anjay. I'm glad to have a new friend. I held up my hand as though asking for a handshake, and Sakutato's short hand was stuck out towards me, lightly touching my index finger. After all, when a human and stuffed animal shake hands, their sizes are too different. This greeting by touching each other's fingers was our handshake.
Now Andre and Sakutaro are already friends. 2 people are more fun than 1, and 3 people are more fun than 2.
Yeah, what he said.
I'm just making noises
Yeah.
at this point.
Maria Onechan had given the name Sakutaro to the stuffed animal she was to receive on her birthday, and had warmed and expanded his existence in her heart for a long, long time. Therefore, even before she met him, his existence was sublimated into a personality. Even at the first moment they met, they were already friends. Of course, that wasn't anything extraordinary to Maria Onechan's eyes, although I don't think she personified and loved anything quite as much as Sakutaro. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. Maybe Aunt Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet at some point in time, so she felt like treasuring objects instead. And maybe she was so isolated that she had been forced to find a friend nearby. Because of all that, what happened that day wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. Even so, Sakutaro. No, maybe I should call it Sakutaro, I don't know. It's the same pronunciation, like Maria Onechan. There's no doubt that Sakutaro was a stuffed animal. No, a friend, whom she loved more than anything, or anyone. Ring! Ring! Hello, it's Mama. You're in a good mood. Is a friend over?
Playing with Sakutaro. Sakutaro, knock it off.
It was already about 9 at night. Rosa had asked because this wasn't a good time to have a friend over, and she'd been just a little surprised. But when she thought about it, Maria didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she'd had so much fun playing with that stuffed animal. Rosa was very pleased that Maria had liked her birthday present so much. Sorry, Mama just can't get her work finished tonight. The next season's lineup is having a tough time. It looks like we're finally starting to get orders bit by bit, and I want to somehow give it a bit more impact so we can answer to their expectations.
So you're spending the night? Sure, okay. Do your best, Mama.
Really? Thank you, Maria. Thanks for being understanding about Mama's work. Rosa was surprised that Maria had accepted so easily that she would be able to come home from work. To Rosa, having to tell Maria that she'd be coming home late or staying overnight was a huge burden. Maria would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone, and it took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Maria would accept it in such high spirits. Is this also thanks to Sakutaro? Rosa was once again pleased that she'd given her daughter such a good present. I'll make sure I come back this time tomorrow. Let's eat dinner together then. You haven't eaten dinner yet, have you, Maria? Buy a bento at the convenience store and eat it. No sweets and no soda. I'll check the receipt and the change, understand?
Shopping with Sakutaro, shopping with Sakutaro.
Hey, not Sakutaro. Have him watch over the house. From Maria's manner of speech, Rosa got the feeling that Maria might have gone shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Rosa's forehead creased, and after sourly saying that Maria definitely mustn't do that, she hung up. Oh my god, her room is so cute!
Aw, sweetie.
Dude, look at all the pumpkins.
Oh yeah, happy Halloween.
Mama said I mustn't go shopping with Sakutaro.
No.
You can't go shopping with Maria. Staying home alone will be lonely. Oh, jeez.
Why did Mama say not to go shopping with Sakutaro? Huh?
I'm sure that if Maria was she with me, it would be embarrassing.
Embarrassing? Why?
Mama says not to take me outside a lot, and she usually says Maria can't do it because she's too old.
It's like a cross between Carl Weezer and Monokuma. I love him.
What am I,
Your
what, you
voice?
want me to change it?
No,
Is it
no,
good?
I literally just said I love him.
But I'm not embarrassed at all of you, Sakutaro, right?
I'm lying, but I'm a stuffed animal and junk.
You're a lion and a stuffed animal and junk, but you're my friend. So let's go out together. Just when Mama isn't around as a secret. Huh? You aren't saying that you're embarrassed, are you?
I'm not embarrassed, but the people outside are a little scary.
Is that it? Then I'll make it so that you can go outside without being scared. Leave it to me. I've got something that's really useful.
Maria started fishing around her messy room. Oh. Rosa often told her to clean it up, but Maria apparently didn't like doing it. However, Maria herself knew more or less where everything was, so much that if it were to be cleaned up, she would have trouble finding where anything was.
Here it is. Hey, look, Sakutaro. A knapsack!
Maria proudly held it up high. Sakutaro looked at the knapsack, which was gaping open, squirming as though saying, "Are you serious?"
Maria, you weren't saying.
This way we can go shopping together, and Sakutaro won't be scared.
Maria held Sakutaro up and started stuffing him to the knapsack. At first, she tried to stick him in head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. Duh. So she pulled him out and tried pushing him in again, feet first.
I grabbed the duck.
Look, it's alright. If you stick your head out, it isn't cramped. It isn't dark and it isn't scary. And it's a good view.
Yeah, you're right. Is it okay for me to go shopping with Maria like this?
Yeah, it'll be fine. What should we get for dinner tonight? Come on, let's go out, Sakutaro.
Looks like you're having fun, Maria One-chan.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even things that would be lonely and boring all alone become fun with Sakutaro. Any human friend would have to go home when it gets late. But Sakutaro doesn't go home, so we can be together all the time. He'll watch TV with me, be together even in a futon, and even hold my hand on scary nights when there's thunder. He'll chase away the monsters in the closet and under the bed. Sakutaro is reliable.
And since I'm a lion, I'll show my courage and chase away any monsters that scare Maria.
I like him. They were so close that it made me a little envious. I'm supposedly older now than Maria-chan was then. But Maria One-chan really is my One-chan, and I still haven't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Sakutaro.
Sakutaro and I are your close friends, right? We're always by your side. It's just that your magic is weak, so you can't perceive us unless you open my diary like this.
Perceive? You know some pretty difficult words, Maria One-chan. According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits. And
Don't get us started on Jewish and biblical folklore. It's like it's 10 hours of a podcast with this girl, let me tell you.
And they're as natural and nearby as a light breeze.
You don't normally notice or see the wind, but when incense, smoke, or something draws tails, you can see it, right?
Right. And even when you can't see it, it's always nearby.
That's it. We're always really close by to you, Anjay. Gods and spirits and guardian spirits are always right next to us. But if you aren't conscious of them, you can't feel their existence. Like wind that can't be seen with the eyes. But they certainly are near us. And if they draw tails in the smoke called magic, anyone can see them.
I thought I'd only be able to meet Maria One-chan while this diary was open. But from what she says, she's always with me, and I can meet her at any time if I truly desire to.
Along with a record of my life, I left a fragment of my own soul in my diary. So the power of my magic resides in this diary. But it's very faint, so only you can feel it.
Only I can tell it's there?
Yes! After all, the power of a witch resides in you, just like me. If you study hard, you too will definitely become a great witch in the future.
A witch? I wonder if that'd be fun.
It is fun. If you do that, you'll be able to know that Sakutaro and I are always by your side, even without opening the diary. If you do that, every day will become fun. If you do that, I'll introduce you to many other friends. If you do that, every day will get busy and very lively.
That might be fun. I do have the grimoire you left behind, Maria One-chan. I'll try reading it seriously sometime soon. If I do that, I won't be all alone anymore. Right? Maria One-chan and Sakutaro said that at the same time, happy that I had developed an interest in the world of witches.
Oh, that's supposed to be me. What she said, yeah.
Oh! Pumpkin!
Ugh.
With her knapsack on her back and half of Sakutaro's face peeking out of it, she triumphantly walked through the shopping district late at night. Well, it was that time of day after all. Everyone in the shopping district was either a shop owner lowering their shutters on their shops, or an employee rushing or else staggering on their way home. Amidst all that, Maria, who was in a good mood like someone on a hike, probably looked quite merry. Every once in a while, passing employees would glance at her back with the eyes of someone seeing something out of place. Office ladies giggled at the cute stuffed animal poking its head out of the knapsack. The supermarket had been closed for a while by this time. However, convenience stores, which had been growing in popularity lately, stayed open until midnight. It was very convenient for Maria, whose mother's return was often late. Dude, I'm sorry, she fucking keeps her out until fucking midnight shit, and so she has to go to the... I'm gonna kill this lady. I'm gonna fucking kill her. Maria lowered the knapsack from her back and, carrying it like a child in her arms, she headed over to the sweet buns corner. She pointed to
And she owns a clothing company. She can't afford like a nanny or something.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, right.
She pointed to the sweet bun she had eaten before, explaining to Sakutaro that this one was delicious, and that one was pretty good too. Sakutaro seemed to be enjoying it a lot.
I'm gonna have the 3-colored one. With just this one, you can eat bean jam and cream and strawberry jam. But there's sometimes greenish brown jam or white bean jam. There should be one kind of bean jam.
Yeah, looks like having different things inside makes them interesting, yeah.
Next, I'll have a fruit yogurt. There's fruit in it, but it isn't as sweet, right? Yeah, I'm sure Mama will be fine with it. Do you want one too, Sakutaro?
Yeah, is that really okay? What about the money?
No problem. Look, it's Shotoku Daishi. So, can I buy you whatever you want too, I can buy you whatever you want too, Sakutaro. Let's eat together. Would you like some yogurt too, Sakutaro?
When Maria made to grab another one of the same fruit yogurt, Sakutaro bent his head slightly, worried.
Yeah, but I can't eat a big one, so a small one would be fine.
Then how about a small yogurt? It's 30 yen. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Yogurt with Maria.
Yogurt with Sakutaro.
Maria put the 3-colored bread and the 2 yogurts in a shopping basket and brought them to the register. The man running the register had been in charge of the tobacco shop that had been here until last year. Tobacco man! Any...
I'm drinking water.
You're
I'm
the
drinking
tobacco
water,
man.
bro.
Tobacco.
This is just you in the 80s.
Yeah. You know what? Then I'll use my normal voice. Easy as done.
There you go.
I seem to be seeing you a lot this time of day, young lady. You're a good girl, but maybe you'd better come with your mother if you're gonna go shopping at this time in the future, okay?
No, it is you because you're working at a convenience store.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Yeah.
That's right.
Mama said it's okay, so it's fine. Mama always comes home late because of her work, but we aren't lonely. Right, Sakutano?
Really? That sounds tough. Here, I'll give you some free soda.
The man working at the store took a can of leftover soda or something from behind the register and packed it into the bag with everything else. You just give her a Red Bull.
Yeah. I get all
this
free
won't hurt
sodas.
you.
Use me, bro.
Thank you, mister. Isn't that great, Sakutano?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Since she had been told not to buy soda, she couldn't take it back home. So she decided to drink it on her way back and not bring the empty can back home.
That's right. Dispose of the evidence.
With the vinyl bag with a sweet bun in it around her elbow, holding the knapsack with Sakutaro in it with that same arm and drinking her soda, the two of them walked home.
Yuzukosho soda isn't really good. You want to try it too, Sakutano?
Well,
You made Maria. You tried to waterboard me. It's a fucking soda. God.
it sure is!
Yeah, it's gross.
Of course, it's not like she could actually make a stuffed animal drink soda. She just put the can to Sakutaro's mouth and pretended to tilt it. But it was fun for Maria to share the taste of this weird drink that she had gotten for free with Sakutaro. There was a huge moon in the sky. At times, that moon had been clouded by tears when she'd been unmanageable during Rosa's overnight stays, and when she'd been scolded by her mother. But this moon was very warm, and it seemed to watch over the two of them as they enjoyed their trip home by themselves. Maria and Sakutaro. Andre, is this awkward?
Oh,
Somebody.
hey, hold on there. And you watch the two of them go from behind.
She looked so warm from behind. After looking at the backs of Maria One-chan and Sakutaro together, it became very hard to remember all of those long nights when she'd cried because her mother hadn't come home.
Why the change of perspective there? That's so pointless. Why would you do that?
I couldn't say it to Maria One-chan, but if I'd been in the same position, I may have given a stuffed animal the name Sakutaro, but it wouldn't have been anything more or less than a stuffed animal. Anyone can make a relationship that only distracts you from your loneliness, but Maria One-chan was different. Sakutaro isn't a stuffed animal or a toy. He was a real friend, and far from just distracting Maria from her loneliness, he changed the nights without her mother into a fun time where they could play all by themselves. Was it because Sakutaro was a special stuffed animal? Because her mother had made it herself? Because it was very, very cute? Probably not. If there is a secret here, it doesn't lie within Sakutaro. I think it probably lies within Maria One-chan.
It's mental illness.
It's autism.
Yeah, it's probably like that. Borderline personality, maybe.
Yeah. Is this the power of magic you were talking about, Maria One-chan?
Knowing magic means that you notice a lot of friends right beside you that you didn't notice before. It's as fun as having a bunch of new toys pop up all over the neighborhood.
If even I, locked up in an academy without a single friend, had power like Maria One-chan, I wonder if I can make my days just a bit richer. I wonder if I'll be able to honestly shed tears on nights I feel like crying, to smile on gray nights.
Yes, you can. You can do it. After all, you also have what it takes to become a witch.
What it takes to become a witch.
I have what it takes to become a witch too, so I've still got a lot more studying and training to do. I'll definitely become a wonderful witch, flying in the sky on a broom, drawing rainbows with my cane, making candy fall from the sky. I can definitely do it. Then I'll show you too. It'll definitely be like a scene from a wonderful dream.
Maria One-chan said that, making an absolute promise with her smile. there's no way I can become a witch. But if Maria One-chan says that, it makes me feel that maybe I really can become a witch. Because in reality, on that desolate night when no flower of a smile could possibly have bloomed, her magic surely gave birth to a smile. I wonder if I can become a witch.
You can. You're a bit older, so your soul is bound a bit more by gravity. That might make training tougher than it is for me, but you definitely can. After all, you're already touching a small piece of magic.
I am? Magic?
Yeah, come on, look. In a world where I don't exist, you summoned me, and you're talking with me.
This is magic?
Yeah, you've expanded the fragment of my soul that I left in my diary, and you're reviving me right now. I also said it a short while ago, right? Since you managed to reunite with me and have a conversation, since you're able to smile every once in a while, you must have some magical talent, Anjay. Your
Wait.
Maria One-chan guarantees it. Oop.
Wait a minute. I'm wondering if this is another trick by the witches. Because this kind of, they went through to the past and started manipulating things and did that to try and get sympathy, and now Anjay is being convinced of magic. Huh. We can continue. I'm just like, I'm wondering if this is some sort of a trick because they're convincing Anjay of magic right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you notice, she was like lambasting Battler for being like, immature and foolish, but the magic shit is pretty enticing when your life sucks.
Yeah.
You said it a second ago, One-chan. I thought I could only meet you while the diary was open, but you're really nearby all the time, right? If I had more of the power of magic, would I be able to see you? And just like now, would I be able to talk with you, One-chan? At any time?
Yeah, we can talk at any time. I'm there by your side to say good morning, and even during class. Let's talk together until during dull classes to distract you from your boredom. I'll also be there to talk to you during meals, so let's always be together like this during lunch break. We're with you after school too, and of course, I'm always by your side even after you return to the dormitory. It's just that you don't see me, except when the diary is opened.
Even when I close the diary, Maria One-chan, you'll be by my side, right?
Yes, I'll be there. So if you try to see me and try to talk to me, I'll definitely be able to answer. If you look strongly and try to talk, that is.
I'll give it a try.
It isn't easy, okay? It isn't going to go well all of a sudden, got it?
I understand. I'm sure it won't be easy. But I want to be like you, Maria One-chan.
I understand. Then look at me well. Look closely.
Okay.
Slowly open and close your eyes. You can't shut them for a long time all of a sudden. After burning my form into your eyes, try to make it blend into the inside of your eyelids.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Once you can visualize me even with your eyes are closed, without changing anything, slowly and softly close your eyes again. How is it? Can you still see me?
Yes, I think I can probably see you.
Then try opening your eyes for a second. Now for the real thing. Calm your heart and close the diary. At that time, my form may disappear for a second. But calm your heart and don't get anxious. And then, try to make the me that's blended into the inside of your eyelids blend back into your eyes. Slowly visualize me in the empty air. In the empty air, see me.
Yeah, I'm okay. Then I'll close the diary. Slowly, I closed it. When I did so, a gray reality filled with dull air unfolded. Of course, Maria One-chan's form disappeared. Give it all you've got. Have courage. Take the first step into the world of witches. I felt like Maria One-chan was cheering me on inside my heart. She's cheering me on? Really? Or do I just think that she is? No, that's wrong. It's because I think that I cannot see her. Maria One-chan is always by my side. And even now she's definitely there, cheering me on to do my best. That reached my ears. So I mustn't ignore it like it's my imagination or the voice of my own heart. I believe that Maria One-chan is there. I mustn't doubt. I believe. One-chan said she'd always be by my side. I must not doubt that. But looking at that empty space, by the empty back wall of the school building, amidst those almost heartlessly boring rays of sunlight, calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The chains of common sense that had clung to me until the day sneered at me, telling me that calling out to the empty air was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper, overlooking a sea of lights. It's Maria One-chan saying it. It's alright. She's saying that I'm someone who could do it. Stop thinking that you might fall, or that it'd be foolish to take a step off a roof, and free yourself from those chains of common sense. Okay. I steadied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. Make the vivid form of Maria One-chan in the empty space before you rise to the surface. Understand magic and see Maria One-chan. Maria One-chan. Oh no!
Is it that
It's
one,
a bitch.
the leader?
It's a bitch.
Oh, it's a.
Huh? Is someone there?
At that time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a wild cry, and I came to my senses. It looked like I wasn't the only one behind the school building. No, since I'd been so immersed in the world of the diary, I hadn't noticed someone coming. I recognized a group of 3 beyond the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone or talk in secret. I hurried out of that place. Because if it had become known that I had been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it had become a pain again. Uh-oh.
She said it right. She said Maria One-chan or something, right?
Isn't that creepy? She didn't see spirits or something, is she?
She made
It
it
so funny.
I'm mentally ill.
Oh my god, me too! Ah!
I could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Maria One-chan had been made fun of, I left that place in a quick pace, and then a jog once I turned the corner. And I might have made it to One-chan's world with just a little more time. It was frustrating, aggravating. Why does everyone get in my way? I hadn't gotten in anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. That's rough, buddy. UMINEKO no naku korone.
Okay, I have like an hour to eat. We probably have to end.
Boom.
I gotta end, and then I gotta go draft Pokemon, and it's gonna be gay.
Oh, the one 12 years later.
Oh
Damn,
my
it's doing another
God.
time skip.
Okay, so we're gotta remember that for next time. Post time skip. 1988 time skip.
Yeah, I
We
think.
calling it?
Yeah, I just have to
are
get. I have to. This cutscene has to play, and then I can save. Oh!
Who is that guy?
Who the
Whoa.
fuck is
What?
that?
Who the hell is that?
Who the hell is that?
Who the hell is Ponytail? My find out next time.
No
on
find out
UMINEKO.
next time. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Holy shit.
See you next week. Hopefully on Wednesday. Yeah.
Thanks for giving us a break this time, Bree.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
This week was a
uh,
little all over the place for me. So,
No worries.
yeah. Alrighty,
I
y'all.
just-
Yeah.
See you later, you three souls.
Oh, 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 oh,
Oh, oh, oh.
Goodbye.